Hello everybody, welcome back to another video from HSTV, and in today's video, as you can see by the video title, I'm going to be sharing my advice and my tips and tricks on how you can ace your Edinburgh Medical School interview. Let's get straight into it. Now, if you're new to the channel and you don't know who I am, my name is Heen Shamaz. I am now a fourth year medical student here at Edinburgh, and actually in 2019-20 we were the first cohort to get interviews at Edinburgh Medical School, because Edinburgh never used to have interviews. So although I'm sure things have changed around a bit since then, I'm going to be here to share a bit on my experience and how you can really smash it out the park on your big day. Okay, tip number one, really important, probably for any interview across the UK, know your motivations for why you want to study medicine and why specifically at Edinburgh as well. That's going to really help you form a lot of the answers for a lot of the questions that you could be asked at Edinburgh. So make sure you know your personal statement inside out. Make sure you've got it bullet pointed in your head. What's made you the person you are today, and why do you want to really study medicine? Because it's a big commitment and they want to know, are you ready for that kind of thing? And the chances are everyone in your cohort's done work experience, volunteering work, and all that jazz, right? So come up with, your personal analogy and your personal linkage for why it really is that you want to study medicine at Edinburgh. Okay, so I think it's like common knowledge by now that Edinburgh does do a group task station, and I think this is something that confuses a lot of people because I don't know any other university that does a group task. I think it's brilliant because medicine is all about teamwork, and there's so many group tasks that come along your journey at medical school. So it's really important to see how you function in a team. Of course, it's not going to be an absolute reflection because you're being examined, but it does give some idea of communication skills in a group setting. Now, from what I can tell you, not much. It's a very small group work task and you don't need any other prior knowledge, okay? So don't be panicking about that. What you should be working on is your general communication skills. Do you know how to maintain that balance between being a team player and a leader? Do you know how to work with conflict in the group? Do you know how to create a good positive team dynamic? And all that kind of thing you've probably already been doing in high school or other degrees that you've studied, and you've probably learned a lot of communication skills through work experience and volunteering work, which is why it's so important that you get experience with different types of people. Now here you'll be working with your peers, so any opportunity you get to do group work before this interview, really make the most of it and try to observe people in the group that you're working with. Who's the quiet one, who's kind of overruling everything, and how would you want to create that balance between those two ends of the spectrum, because that's really what they're looking for. They're not wanting you to complete the task necessarily or to do it to a great standard or anything. It's only like a 30 to 40 minute task. They're not expecting a lot, but what they want to see is good communication, and that's something that comes over time. But I guess now that you know that there is a group station, whenever you are involved in any group work before this interview, really reflect on your role. What are you doing? Are you doing enough, or are you doing too much? You don't want to be the person who's just like, leading everyone and, bossing everyone around, okay? So make sure you try to get that balance and reflect on your own role as much as you can before you get into this group task interview. Okay, another thing to really get into your head about Edinburgh is that they're not testing your academic abilities at this interview, because guess what? They already know you're smart because you've got an interview, and that means that you had pretty good grades and a pretty good UCAS score, right? So the point of this interview is to really get to know you and to get to see your communication skills in action, right? So don't worry, you won't be tested on like A-level biology or like advanced higher chemistry, okay? What I will say, however, is for you to keep up with the news, keep up with current issues, which is stuff like, I think if you're interested in studying medicine, you'd be keeping up with these things anyway. But yeah, just like read BBC News, read any journals if you're quite into the academic and research in medicine, things like the BMJ, the Lancet. Think about the new upcoming technologies in medicine and any other like ethical issues. For example, in the UK, the Lucy Letby case, that was a really interesting one for all the medics, and it's something that I think a lot of universities might be asking about at interviews this season. So yeah, just keep up with the news and don't worry too much on the academic side of things. Okay, another thing that I think universities want to see, as well as Edinburgh as well, is that who you are as a person outside of medicine as well, right? So you're probably not like at work experience 24/7, and you're not doing volunteering 24/7, and you're not studying 24/7, right? So what's your hobbies? What do you do in your free time? And how are you going to de-stress at medical school as well and beyond? Because that's so important for preventing burnout. Burnout is a real thing, okay? And I feel like I've either been through a bit of burnout or I've been close to burnout, just because it can get very exhausting keeping up with all the studying at medical school, along with if you're a part of any societies or committees, and your social life and your family life. Like, it's a lot to balance, and this is me, you know, staying at home, okay? So I don't even have the stresses of having to move out to a new city. So you need to make sure that you have measures and activities in place to help you de-stress, and that comes through things like hobbies and playing sports. And again, great if you're doing like grade 8 piano or whatever, but do you enjoy it? Does it help you de-stress? That is the more important thing here. So although you probably worked very hard for this certificate in piano, it's all about, you know, enjoying things. So don't worry if you don't have, you know, you don't play basketball at a national level. That's fine. Like, they want to see your commitment towards a hobby and a life skill, but it doesn't have to be something done at a brilliant level. It's more to see your interests outside of medicine and what makes you you. Now, I know that this next thing that I'm going to say is probably easier said than done, but honestly, just relax and enjoy your day, because it really doesn't feel like an interview. Honestly, at Edinburgh, I thought it was in fact, I thought it was the most friendly interview, honestly, from the ones that I did, and I interviewed at all the Scottish universities. So I think that Edinburgh, they really do make it like a day where you can find out more about the university, you can chat to medical students, and really get a feel for the medical school, as well as obviously doing an interview. So the interview is like 3 stations, and then you've got the group work station, and I think in total it's about 3 hours, but honestly it goes very fast. So honestly, just relax, take some deep breaths, and if you've got questions, make sure you ask them on the day, because everyone around there is really friendly and always happy to help, especially the medical students. Finally, what I'm going to say is that Edinburgh receives over like 2,000 applications or something around that number, and then by the time you get to interviews, there's only about 700-ish people left, and that means that you've got a pretty good chance of getting in. So really believe in yourself and know that if you've got an interview, make the most of it, because, you know, you're doing well. You got this. But if you do want to practice interviews, make sure that you practice with a medical student or with a healthcare professional. Try to do mock interviews where you're put on the spot and then you get feedback. Feedback is so important, and I myself, when I was applying, I really struggled to find a good interview course or a good mock interview, so I created my own, and you can see the leaflet here somewhere on the screen. So if you want to get in touch with me, we do 3 mock interview sessions, and through that you will see your progress actually, and you'll get mentoring from myself or another Edinburgh Medical School student, and we really try to give you that tailored, personalized help and support. So please do go check that out if you are wanting some help, but honestly, you're gonna be fine. Just be yourself. Alright guys, well that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you found this useful, and again, well done on getting to the interview stage. I really hope that it goes well for you. Please do let me know down in the comments how it goes. What are you doing to prep? And if you have any questions, I'm always happy to help, okay? You can follow the HSTV Instagram at HSTV Official. You can DM me on there. There's also the hsreviews05@gmail.com email that you can email me on, or you've obviously got the comment section down below. So I'm really rooting for you all. I do every single year, and if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. And yeah guys, I'm gonna see you all in my next video. Goodbye.